Good morning. I've got a pound Carlton bag here to show you today. Several people were asking for more information on the bag. I know there isn't very good videos out there for just how the bag works and how stuff fits in it, so I went ahead and bought one myself, and I've been using it for a bit. Thought I'd show it off to you today so you can see what it's all about, how many discs it carries, how the storage works, all that good stuff. This is a limited edition model. It retails at $325. Those of you that don't know pound very well, limited edition means they made a small batch of them. There are other bags that exist with these exact same colors. They do one-offs, so you can have your own unique bag, or you can order it with whatever, fabric colors and zipper colors and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. But you gotta wait if you want a custom one. So I thought these colors were pretty cool. As soon as I seen this posted on Facebook, I just went ahead and grabbed one. I've got this bag taken apart right now, which I don't think you'd probably ever need to do, unless maybe you were gonna clean the bag at the end of your season or something. This is kind of difficult to get out of the center. This center divider, the tower, slides right in there. It's got Velcro on the front, Velcro on the bottom, and Velcro on the back. So it sticks in place really well. I guess there are these little Velcro strips that run across the top as well. But with that out, it's the easiest to show kind of the storage. So let's go ahead and pack it up. I'll grab, there's 6 mids. Grab a pile of drivers, 4, 8, 12, there's 14 drivers there. Oh, well, that was a pretty good guess. That's about maxes out the bottom of the bag. So it is just one huge cavity down there on the bottom. I stuck some water bottles in here so it wouldn't fall over earlier. I'll take those out. Then we've also got, room in these side pockets, which can easily take, there's four more mids. And there's 6 drivers. I don't know if that'll fit. Yeah, probably four drivers. Things are starting to get tight. Now, of course, some of the real estate down here in the main compartment is gonna get taken up by this center divider. The thing is, if that center divider is fully split out, you can see the stack of discs that you're gonna be forced to remove. There's 6 discs, 6 drivers that are about that width. Now what I realized when I got this is where that sticks down in the center, I can unvelcro it and move it a little bit to one side and put it back down, or a little bit to the other. Or what I ended up doing is I squished it a little bit and then forced it back down. So I made it go to a little bit lower profile, and that let me fit more discs. So there's not like a hard number for how many discs you can fit in one side versus the other. You can move that thing around a little bit. Now you also get the disc storage on that center tower sleeve, and you can order it different ways. Like I've got the 3 disc slot on one side, which can pretty easily fit, three mids in there, and then the double putter on the other. I like the double putter pocket a little bit better. I think that if I was ordering another one of these, I might get the double putter pocket on both sides. Part of the reason is that this lower disc sleeve here, that cuts into our main disc real estate. And so all the discs then stacked on this side of the bag kind of want to sit on an angle, and I don't really, it's a little weird. So I've actually not been putting a disc there, so that the main disc slot isn't as affected by that. And then you really can double up coming up higher, especially if you're putting like fairways in there or something. You can stack 2 fairways here. I've had 2 fairways here and 2 fairways here before, instead of mids or putters if you wanted. So you got lots of options for how you want to lay that out. One thing I noticed right away is that double putter slot was tighter than I wished it would be. These are KC Pro Color Glow AVR, or just KC Pro Glow AVRs in here. They're real hard, so they slide in easy. But if I was put in JK or R Pro AVRs, or a stickier AVR, then it really fights against that plastic. Especially when the other pockets here start getting full. Like if I want to put a mini in there, and some pencils and a marker, those all start kind of pushing on the discs, and then it becomes a little bit harder to get this stuff in and out. So you have to kind of think about which one you want to pull and how you're going to put it back in there. Again, these are real slick AVRs, so if I have a stickier disc, then it's even harder. I don't know if that'll kind of stretch out over time. There's like so much fabric in here, I'm not sure that it will. If you put enough pencils to even come around the corner, if you've got like 6 pencils, that makes it even worse. I don't know. So that part of it's just a little bit funky. It's not perfect, in my opinion. And then we've got stuff on the inside of this sleeve. On the, let's see, this will be your right, I guess. This is our main kind of valuables pocket. That's where cell phone belongs. It's pretty wide, so I can easily put my cell phone in there, and then I got room for my wallet. I can put keys in there. Keys might scratch the face of your phone, so you might want to split things up just because of that. There's quite a bit of room on that side. The other side here is for the water bladder, and it does go all the way down to the bottom, so you have a really tall slot if you have a tall water bladder to put in there. I've never used a water bladder. They did, this is where it gets hard to see. If you look on this side, you can see a row of stitching that's right here. That's Velcro. So you can reach in there and unvelcro this flap and then stick it back together. And that then creates the bottom of this pocket right here instead of all the way down. So by doing that, it gives you, I don't have anything tall enough to poke in there to show you. It basically gives you another valuables pocket. So I can drop, hand warmers and other stuff in here. That's a really large pocket. They'll kind of swallow up my cell phone. So there's the bottom of my phone hitting the Velcro, which I've got closed. So if I put my phone in there, I might have to kind of search for it. But you have some versatility there. And then in the very back is our umbrella sleeve that goes all the way down. So let's go ahead and put that center divider back in place. It's a little bit of a battle, so it'll take me a moment here. Okay, that's pretty close to the center. There we go. So that's the pound, or the that's the Carlton as you're used to seeing it. With that center divider in, it's just really hard to see down into that main disc slot. That's, I think, why so many people have had questions. How many discs does this hold? How's the bag work? Just because it's not super visible. So let's do mids on this side. 3, 4. There's 5 mids, and then fairways and drivers on this side. There's 4. 8. So there's 8 drivers, 5 mids. Let's just load it up fully. We'll get a couple putters in here. And then on this side, let's say maybe we want 1 more mid and 2 fairways. So even that slot right there, if you notice that jammed, that's because it's hitting the top of my mid-range down here. So I have to pull that out of the way, and then I can get that disc to slide the rest of the way in. That's not even utilizing that lower third disc sleeve. That third disc sleeve is all the way down here. You can totally use. I definitely don't have the bag maxed as it is, but let's pretend I'm going to do it like this. So I still have room to wiggle on this side with the mids. The discs aren't squeezed. I can easily fit my fingers in there, spread the discs apart. So it's not tight. Same on same for my drivers. There's quite a bit of room to spread those apart. The way that this bag is cut, with the zipper curling like this fabric curling, and then the center divider pushing out, it's hard to see the innermost disc in the main compartment and the outermost disc in the main compartment. I mean, it's hard for you guys to see in there. It's hard to get this on the right angle. I had to set up an extra light just to shine in here specifically. And even in the middle of the day with the high sun, it's still just kind of a black hole on these sides. So if you're really particular about your order of discs, when you go to pull one out, it's a little bit hard to get it in the right spot because I can't get my hand in there and the disc. It's just, I don't know. It's a little bit harder to use that main pocket compared to, you know, one of these other standard front-loading bags that I've got out here. This is so much easier to see into and grab discs. So that is a thing that bugs me just a little bit, is the access, the vision really, down into those sides. Now also when we've got it loaded up like this, it really wants to keep this top slot closed. So to access either of those pockets I mentioned, you know, you're either 2 hands in here to separate it, or your other hand's twisting and, you know, you're kind of rubbing against the zippers and whatnot. That reminds me a lot of Latitude bag. What's it called? Latitude, the E3 bag. It has those kind of triangular side pockets with a vertical zipper, and it just like rakes your hand. You're, you know, trying to get your hand in there to grab stuff, and you're just constantly rubbing hard against the zippers. And that's not my favorite thing either, but that's what you'll live with if you have this bag. So one of the other questions I've got is storing like a jacket, and whether you can fit one in here. So that depends on a couple things. One, it's whether you have it totally spread out and Velcroed down in the widest, and then also how many discs you have pushing in there. Because I showed you how much room I had on both sides still. Let me grab a couple jackets. Okay, so I'll show you. I have a giant Discmania hoodie, a lightweight down jacket, and a full-size rain jacket here. So that rain jacket's disappeared. That is low enough in there that it's not affecting my storage on either sides. But by doing that, Look how hard it's pushing on these discs now. Can you see, maybe? I can't, it's gonna hurt my finger to try to slide my finger between two discs. So if I'm loading that wide of a jacket down here, I almost need to take a disc or two out. So I've got all this room in a side pocket. If I want, I can easily fit an extra disc or two out there, or I can even put a jacket out there. On the Octothorpe bag that I've got with the rainfly on, the red one, that rainfly blocks access to the side pockets a little bit, but I've still been using, just putting the rain jacket in there. So if you're willing to maybe fold a jacket, roll a jacket up a little bit nicer, then you can easily fit it in one of these side pockets. That's my full-size rain jacket. This down jacket compresses really well. That's the advantage of it. That's all the way in there. And then there's a giant oversized hoodie in with it as well. We're getting full, you know. I still have access to those side compartments, but that's put a lot of pressure on my discs. With the side pocket being filled with a jacket in it, that puts pressure on the discs as well. You see my mids are starting to overlap. They're getting squished together so hard in there. So it's a trade-off. You'd have to do a little bit of strategy. If you were playing a tournament where potentially you need to carry 2 layers and liquids and food and all that, it's going to be a little bit of a battle. You're going to have to decide whether you want to carry more discs or have access, enough room to fit all the jackets and everything. I've had this fabric rolled up, and I don't know why you'd leave it like that, but they're there, right? You know, the only way you'd justify having that extra fabric on there is if you were playing and got caught in a little bit of rain. You know, you can zip those up and cover your discs, or if you're riding a motorcycle or bicycle or something to the course, you'd probably zip it all closed. But I've never unzipped them until just then. Hopefully, I think they intend to make an actual rain fly for this bag, and that'll be the way to go. So I haven't really commented yet on the comfort of this bag. It has extremely padded, very comfortable shoulder strap, same as what's on the Octothorpe. I go into that in quite a bit more detail in the review video about the Octothorpe. If you're more curious about these straps and how they compare to other bags, specifically the grip bags, you can go watch that Octothorpe video. It has very similar back to the Octothorpe bag as well. The difference being that with the vertical divider in there, that ends up making the back a lot more rigid. You know, I can't, on the Octothorpe, I can grab this section and just kind of twist it. It's very soft. It'll form to my back when I put the Octothorpe on, but this has basically a hard spine right here. So there's not nearly the flexibility on the back of this bag. So it's a slightly less comfortable than the Octothorpe, in my opinion. Still more comfortable than the grip bags. It is lighter. With nothing in the Carlton, it's 1.73 kilograms. That is 110 grams less than an Octothorpe. So a little bit less than a disc lighter than an Octothorpe. It's 20 grams lighter than the AX15, the grip bag, which is basically a tie, pretty close. And then it is 130 grams. The Carlton's 130 grams heavier than the Grip CS bag. They got a lot more storage with the Carlton. So it's I don't know, it's a neat bag. It looks cool. You'll get comments from people if you want to design it yourself with your own colors and fabric and whatnot, then you can end up with a super neat looking bag. Towel storage is a little weird. You've got D-rings. I've never liked to clip towels to D-rings. I always just want to stuff it somewhere. And you know, the best place is dead center, but then I'm also stuffing my towel, you know, next to my phone and all that other stuff. You could take over one of these pockets, I guess, if you wanted to put a towel in there. Trying to think if there's anything else I really have to comment about this bag. Stool strap on the front, same as the Octothorpe. Double layer fabric across the bottom. It does, I mean, you can see the discs pushing down through it right now, but it does sit a little bit funny sometimes. I feel like it wants to rock back and forth. I think that's just from kind of sitting on that center divider, but it's been pretty stable. I haven't had to worry about it falling over or anything. It's similar stability to the Octothorpe. They've got the snap on it right here. That's the snap used to secure the rainfly on the Octothorpe, so they probably will be coming out with a rainfly for this. The shoulder straps are removable, just like the Octothorpe. There's double snaps there. I haven't tried to pull them free yet. They don't seem to want to come out. Yeah, I don't know why that's so tight. I've popped them free on the Octothorpe, but they don't want to come off on this. Anyways, technically replaceable. If Pound ever gets around to selling just the shoulder straps, which they think they intend to, then you could replace them over time. Hopefully that's, you know, answered some of your questions, at least about this bag. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not going to keep mine. I'm intending to go ahead and sell it. My preference is for the Octothorpe. Real similar weight. The Octothorpe is a little more comfortable. I think maybe the biggest reason you go for this bag is just the style. It's, you know, pretty unique look. So if that's attractive to you and you don't need the little bit extra capacity that the Octothorpe has, then it's probably a great bag for you. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching.